Hey you guys! So I wanted to tell you guys about an article that I came across. Now, as you guys know, I do try to take care of leathers. I am a supporter. I am a fan of taking care of like vintage furs, vintage leathers. I do like silk. I do like eating animal products as well. I am a meat eater, unapologetically. And PETA is an animal rights organization. The stuff that I like, PETA is against. Now, PETA is it pushes people to veganism. They believe that people should not be vegetarian but ideally vegan because if it's vegan then their idea is that animals don't suffer. I tried, I tried vegetarianism. I tried veganism. I ended up with some of the worst depression in my life. I'm not kidding you guys. Like this was no joke for me. So, the baffling connection between vegetarianism and depression. I really believe, and I'm going to get really short into this, right? I really believe when I was vegetarian, I was trying to go vegan, right? But when I was vegetarian, mostly trying to go vegan, there was some deficiency I had in my brain. I don't know what it was, but it was so terrible. I decided after I realized how dark I was getting, I never ever want to go into vegetarianism or veganism ever again. This happened a couple years ago, and ever since then, you guys have been seeing me be a meat eater, and my mood, unsurprisingly, lifted. Nothing changed between the time I was vegetarian, mostly vegan, and meat eating. The only thing that changed was my diet. So I just wanted to point that out because if anybody is a vegetarian or vegan and you find that you're going through some really, really dark times, you cannot figure out why you're so depressed, it might be your diet. There might be something lacking. I don't know what it is. I didn't want to figure out what it was. I didn't want to say like, okay, it's this vitamin or this vitamin or this vitamin. I just wanted to change my diet right away and my mental health improved significantly. So, they have a campaign which is related to veganism. It is a human leather campaign. So, leather is a byproduct mostly from the animal industry. If you eat beef, if you're a meat eater, right? A cow has leather, it has cowhide. Now, instead of throwing all of the skin away from a cow um, to get a steak, what they do is they process it, they tan it, it gets put into handbags, shoes, belts. I think it's a reusable thing. The Native Americans were very good with reusing things. They didn't let things go to waste. I found them to be very in, ingenious because you guys would see like teepees, you would see them try to make clothes out of the hides, and it's very it's a lot more eco-friendly in my opinion than going to like a synthetic route. That's just my opinion because also vegan leather compared to regular leather only lasts about 2 to 5 years. If you have genuine leather, this stuff will last for decades. If you guys don't believe me on this, go and buy some vegan leather item, keep it around for 5 years, keep buy like get some genuine leather, see what the condition is in about 5 years. You'll see that the vegan leather is deteriorating because it's not genuine leather. If you have genuine leather, you can condition it, right? If you have fur, you can take care of it, and fur can also decompose. If I have a fur jacket, all the leather, all the fur, if I bury it underground in 1.5 years, it will decompose. If I bury any of the synthetic stuff and it's plastic back, it will not decompose. So this is why when I think about green stuff, I don't consider vegan alternatives to actually be green. I would say go and buy things pre-owned genuine leather, pre-owned genuine fur. Use that instead of buying any of this vegan stuff. Okay, so let's go back to this article over here. So they have a new campaign over here. This came out actually earlier this month, and it's a satirical clothing store called Urban Outrage. So it's a ripoff of Urban Outfitters, right? So as you guys know, if you guys have any leather wallet, leather jacket, leather car interior, you guys know, right? It doesn't have any like ears or eyes or whatnot. PETA had to wanted to make such an impact to people, trying to convince people not to use leather items. Do you guys know what they decided to do? Look at this. Hold up. Dang it. One moment. I swear I need to get a new computer. Come on, come on, come on. Yep. I'm gonna have to redo the stream, you guys. Unfortunately, it looks like my computer might have frozen. What can I say? Let's see. Oh, no, 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 no. Seems like it's okay. Okay, here we go. Thank you, thank you. Okay. Oh, crap, 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 crap. No. Okay. So, over here, right? Come on. Oh my gosh. This computer. This Christmas, I want to buy a new MacBook. Let's see here. Yeah, I'm gonna redo the stream in a bit. I think I gotta close some windows. Hold on. My computer can't handle that much stuff. And before any of you guys tell me like, "Oh, Erica, it's because your computer, it's not a, higher end computer." I'm just, you know what? I mean, this computer is like 2015, okay? Give it a break. Most people aren't even using this kind of computer anymore. Okay, let's see over here. Let's see if I can close some windows. Maybe this will make a difference. No, it's fine, it's fine. I have too many windows open. People are Mac hating over here. Okay, let's see. Come on. Technical difficulties. You know, the answer to a lot of MacBook stuff is that if you have a problem with your computer, just buy a more expensive one. Okay, here we go. Finally. Finally. Okay, where are you guys? You can hear my fan going crazy right now. I have 1, 2, 3. I have 6 windows. No, I have 9 windows open. 9 internet windows, and my computer is just so mad. It's like really, really mad at me. Yeah. Who knows? Let's see. Do I have anything else open? I have Signal open. That's it. Come on, let's see. Now my Chrome is freezing. Oh. I give up. I give up with that. Let's close more windows here. And as much as you guys will probably make fun of me and tell me, "Oh, Erica, you just need to you just need to get a non-MacBook computer," I think the answer is just buy a better MacBook. Come on, where are you? Okay, here we go. Here we go. We are getting there. Okay. One more window closed. Closing this stuff down. I have 1, 2, 3. I have 6 windows open and my computer is breathing hard with OBS. Okay, let's see here. And my phone is charged. Okay, here we go. Finally. Okay. Sorry for the technical issues. I have too many windows open. Okay, so over here, right? This is what they decided to drop over here. Look at these images. They're incredibly graphic. If you guys are familiar with leather, you will never, ever, ever see this stuff. Okay, this is just some cheap attempt from PETA to get people's attention and just to tell them, hey, yeah, don't wear leather. You know, this stuff is gonna make you look gross. You can also see if for some of the pieces over here, they decided to include images of blood. It's so disgusting. If you guys have any leather pieces, you will never ever see that stuff. You know, you won't see blood with your genuine leather watch or anything like that. The reason why you see this stuff with the PETA stuff, like look at this stuff. This stuff is gross. Oh my gosh. Look, they're trying to shame people who wear, let's say, leather shoes or what calls it, timber lakes. I think that's what you call timberlands. They decided to put some, CGI teeth over here, and it makes people get disgusted about it. And I can think what they're trying to do is they're trying to tell people like, hey, don't buy this stuff because it's teeth, and there is no boots. Okay, there is no boots that have teeth on them. Okay, but for whatever reason, and I'm gonna say it. Maybe these people need to have a burger. Maybe these people need to eat some meat so they can think straight and say, "Hey, maybe we should go at this a different angle to get the meat eaters or the leatherwares to actually follow what we're saying." But they're so stupid. They're so stupid that they just say, "Oh yeah, yeah, let's just show them some grotesque images, and maybe, just maybe, they're gonna go vegan or vegetarian." F that. Like, no. I mean, it makes PETA look absolutely terrible. So this one, you can see that they got this jacket, they got this dress. Look at these richer loafers. They purposely made everything look bloody so it creeps you out. Look at this Adrian belt. 3 stars, right? I think this is so funny. This gender neutral all leather belt was crafted by hand and designed to last for 100 years, which is ironic considering Adrian didn't make it that long. They still had plenty of years left before being rounded up and starved until their skin was just in the right condition. Adrian didn't die immediately because the process was necessary to make required to the skin to be taken while they were still alive, fully aware what they were going to be used for. Like what? What? Like, this is supposed to be shock and awe over here. But truly, right? Truly, when it comes to like leather stuff, you really think it makes it in their a person's best interest to harvest the leather while the animal is still alive? I'm sure it happens occasionally, okay? I'm not going to be living in la la land and say this stuff doesn't happen, but what I'm saying is that you can't just say like, okay, this happens in every case. Like if someone, let's say, is, give me an example here. If someone, for instance, like let's say they kill a cow, they're, because the cow is so big and powerful, it makes more sense for them to say, hey, let's wait for the cow to pass away before we start harvesting leather, before we start doing this kind of stuff. But what can I say? This is PETA, so they're just like saying all this kind of stuff. And then you can also see this is the leather parts that they're saying over here. From Los Angeles, Adrian will be missed by their family and friends, including 4 roommates. Leathering process, garment care. And then they even poke fun at leatherwares. I love how each belt is different. No one else had the same exact yours. There's even some dirt stains. You can really feel the pain that went into it. And then smooth material. And if you want to make a purchase, right, for the Adrian belt, this is what they do. So let's say you want to add to the bag. And I'm sorry, you guys, this is pretty graphic. It's, of course, I just wanted to show you guys this because I think that the way PETA is going about this is all wrong. Believe it or not, I actually donated to PETA when I was in high school. And I feel bad that I donated to PETA because I kind of think about it this way. I donated to them. I funded some of their campaigns, and it just comes off as like so hateful. Look at this damn thing. Look at that. That is so disgusting. You know? Like you have a human and then they just show like a part of the face ripped off like that. Oh my gosh. And then they also have a dead sheep over there. Why is it okay to kill a cow for leather? Implying that all this livestock is being starved for the leather. If you are a farmer and you have a cow, it is in your best interest to keep your cow well fed because if you're selling the meat, right, the heavier the cow is, the more meat you can sell. See where I'm getting at? Like even the most premium meats, like Wagyu beef, those cows are fatty. And like no farmer benefits having an underweight cow by choice. There are bad farmers. I'm not going to say there's not bad farmers out there, but what I'm saying is that it doesn't make sense for them to show this like skinny cow over here and then it implies that all these cows are being starved. And then they try to bring it on you and say like you should be horrified what's in your closet. Wool, leather, alpaca, cashmere, mohair, down, or silk. Wool is a byproduct of lamb or sheep. Leather is a byproduct of cows. Alpaca, well, alpaca is alpaca fur, and then cashmere, that's with rabbits, right? Mohair, I don't know what mohair is. I forgot. Down is goose or like chicken. I think it's goose feathers actually. And then silk is a byproduct of like the silkworm. So silkworms, they eat these little leaves, and then afterwards they basically they kill them. They steam them and boil them and something like that, and in the cocoon, and then they just harvest them that way. I know some people would say it's barbaric, but how many people do you know really care that much about insects? How many people, if they see a bug, they're just gonna squash it anyway, right? So what they're saying is that if you own this stuff, then you bought into the barbaric industries involving the violent practice that would have been cruel and unusual if they were performed on humans. There's a difference here, okay? Now you guys can disagree with me over here. They're duck, goose feathers, something like that. Hold on, let me check something really quick. One moment. Okay, here we go. My OBS thing kind of lags sometimes, so I just want to make sure that everything is good. Okay, here we go. Okay, I think the stream is fine. Okay, so yeah, like for this kind of stuff, what they're not taking into consideration is I truly believe, and you guys can disagree with me here, but I truly believe that animals were put on this earth to nourish, clothe, and feed us. And I know people would say I sound like such a jerk for saying that, but it's true. Think about it, right? Look at the Inuits. How do you think they survive? They have to kill animals to survive. You cannot grow apples in Alaska. You can't go ahead and do it in some kind of frigid Antarctica sort of thing. You can't, there's no carrots over there. There's no organic greens over there. There's no quinoa over there. There's no, nice cherries over there or pineapple. It's pretty much you live off of animals: seal meat, whale meat, caribou meat, elk meat, and you use those after you kill those animals. You use their coats to stay warm, and you also use the blubber for things like conditioning things or using it for oil lamps and stuff like that. They use, I believe, the intestines for like fishing line or some kind of rope. I forgot, it's called sinew, sinew. The people who live in the Antarctica and cold regions, I can't I can't like give crap to them because they are much more of a survivalist than I am, right? So for people to kind of just say like, "Oh, you're barbaric for living that way," I just find it like to be so elitist. And you guys know, right? If they're making statements like this, it's just kind of, it sounds like it's a first world country person just casting shade at like the poor individuals or the people who live in remote areas, and I don't side with this at all. I've always been a fan more of animal welfare standards than complete elimination for animals. For instance, right? Pasture raised eggs, free range eggs. Make sure that the cows have more space. Make sure you support grass fed cows. Make sure that for pigs, I'm a big fan of supporting bigger crates for them. I know California farmers are against it. I've heard California businesses, restaurants are against it, citing higher costs. But I'm actually for that bill. It's been getting a lot of pushback. I said that I think they wanted something like 24 cubic feet for the pigs. I'd rather have the pig have 24 square feet for space because they're giant pigs than just, a tiny little area. I do believe that the pig or the chicken should be able to turn around, should be able to, stretch their legs a little bit. So in that regard, right, I support animal welfare. But in terms of completely eliminating animal products and vilifying people who consume and use them, and the people who use it to keep them warm, it's just, I don't get this kind of thing. So over here, we all suffer, we all feel pain. And then they talk about all this stuff. They say about sheeps being beaten, stomped on. I don't believe this is like 100% of the cases. I really don't, because you hear about people who are small-time farmers. Do you think that they're doing this to their livestock? Seriously. Seriously, do you think a small time farmer is like, hey, I woke up today, let me beat my livestock? No, they're not going to do that because they want their livestock to look good. Especially if it's something like a premium fur. The Why are they going to damage the animal when the fur is bringing in money? When the leather is bringing in money, kind of thing. It doesn't make sense to me. So what they are pushing over here. So what they're pushing over here at the end of it is vegan leathers over here. And I'm sorry, you guys, this is some graphic stuff. I'm so sorry, okay? They have a beheaded cow over here. I'm so sorry. And then they talk about they talk about greenhouse gases, and it's just disgusting. They say demand chains, and then here's the fake gift cards. And then they ask you like, oh, now that you know, how can you go help us end speciesism now? What is speciesism? Speciesism. Let's find out what PETA's response is. I'm sorry for showing you guys this stuff. See? So they consider what I just said to be discrimination, because I do believe we're superior to animals in that sense. Like, between an animal and a human, I believe that animals should be used to feed humans. I believe that a human's life is more important than an animal's. If I had to if I had to pick and choose, okay, I'm not gonna say a little field mouse's life should be preserved just like a human's. And you guys can say whatever you want about that, but I truly will prioritize a human being's life over any pig or bird or mouse. And I don't feel any guilt about that kind of thing. I want people to live long, happy lives. If they have better nutrition, then I'm all for it, okay? There is a reason why I push for people to be cognizant about their nutrition. I rather have there be more happy meat eaters than unhappy vegetarians or vegans out there. I do believe mental health issues is a very real issue that people need to talk about. And just trying to get people on this whole, like, oh, think about the animals bandwagon, in my opinion, is not the way to go, because, again, we have to think about human being quality of life, not just the animals. Take care of the animals' quality of life, right? Make sure that there's humane living standards, but do not tell a human being, give up all your animal products. If you suffer a little mentally, that's okay. Just wait. You'll find the solution. And maybe you won't even find the solution. And I'm getting a little off topic, but for instance, there are some long-term vegans and vegetarians that they got off the vegetarian and vegan bandwagon. And you guys know they were supplementing. They were making sure that they were taking all this kind of supplements, and at the end of it, they just walked away from it. A lot of vegans and vegetarians, after about 5-6 years, they just stopped. It's not because they just, they didn't believe in the cause, but they found that sometimes their health just wasn't working for them. They started seeing some issues, and what can I say? It's like, for those people who decide to stop going on vegetarian or veganism, in my opinion, they shouldn't be attacked. I think one of the saddest things to do is attack a person who's committed years of their life to a lifestyle. And if it doesn't work out for them, just say, hey, thanks for giving it a good shot. I hope you return. That's it. But then you got some people who will just attack them and say, you weren't a true vegan. You weren't a true vegetarian. How could you do that? Think of the animals. Save the animals. And it's just like, again, I don't put an animal's life over humans. I rather see a person happy and being a meat eater than miserable and being a vegan. So I'm going to read over here really quickly. And I think PETA tries to go about this. I understand. They want to save the animals, okay? I get it. I completely get it. But it's just, it comes off as such an extremist group. It's like, if you don't follow what they say, then you must be, you must be barbaric. You must not care about animals. You must be a selfish human being. They're also against people keeping animals as pets. They believe animals should be free. They think that birds shouldn't be caged. They say that caged birds should be released. I've had birds. You know, I've had birds for about 20 years of my life. I don't have any birds anymore, but during that time, I can tell you 100%, those birds could not survive out in the wild. They were raised in captivity, they were born in captivity, they were so used to walking down 1 foot, 1.5 feet from down from where they slept to the bird feeder, and that's where they would get their food every day. They didn't have to forage for food. They didn't have to worry about being rained on, getting the elements put on. They were very safe, and those birds were very happy, in my opinion. I tried to give them a really good life. I had supplements for them, I had treats for them, I had some of the best quality food I could find for them. I really cared a lot about my birds. So when I hear about PETA saying, oh, you're selfish if you have a pet, I just kind of think about it this way. Like, I tried to take care of those pets so well. And I don't consider myself selfish for having a pet. I just think of it as the animal is alive. I want to have a beautiful life with this animal, and if I can make sure that the animal is taken care of, if it's sick, I'll take it to the vet. Then I don't think I should feel ashamed of having a pet. No, they do actually. I do know that some animals are skinned alive. I've heard about it. I've heard about, let's say, snakes and alligators. I'm not gonna sugarcoat this stuff for you, but I don't believe it happens like 100% of the time. I do believe, there are. It's just like, it's like putting your grandma or your grandpa in a nursing care home, right? There's always a chance that if you put them in a nursing care home, they might be abused. There's always a chance. But you hope that isn't the case. But you hear about those allegations about people not taking care of your grandma or your grandpa, or maybe sometimes they neglect them. But you just hope it doesn't happen to you. So again, I don't say that this stuff is false. I don't think the skinning alive thing is false. I've seen footage of it, but I don't think it's like the common industry standard. Yeah, so real Joe Biden says, I had a Canada Goose jacket once I was sick. Never once did I think, damn, I wish I could just glue these feathers back on the duck. Like, I was so sick. Yeah, for me, I always believe, taking care of your stuff, right? That's the better way to go about it. Like, if you have, for instance, a goose down feather, jacket or a pillow, right? Let's say you got it secondhand. When you look at that pillow, you're gonna say, "Hey, these are premium ingredient, premium filling inside of here. Let me take care of it. Let me not just take it for granted. Let me not just throw it haphazardly on the ground because they're goose feathers and they're a more expensive product." Same as like silk. If you have any silk items, you're not gonna say, "Ah, yeah, let me just throw it in with all this other clothes." You would say, "Oh crap, let me hand wash it. Let me make sure it's not, if it's dried, it's not in direct sunlight." All that extra care helps promote the longevity of the item. And I'm a really big fan of people taking care of their items. And if it's a leather item or any animal based product, I would say make sure you take care of that stuff and you're also aware that it's associated with an animal. I don't look at my leather items and I don't look at my silk items, my fur items, and say, haha, I've conquered these animals. I look at it with an immense amount of gratefulness. These things keep me warm, these things keep me comfortable. When I'm eating meat, I think of, I'm really happy and I'm really grateful that I have good nutrition within me to protect my mental health. Again, if I go low meat or low animal product, I can start telling that I'm getting more depressed and I get more anxiety filled as well. So, with all that being said, I hope that this stream was helpful to you guys. I hope maybe you learned something about this. And my personal belief, as you guys know, I'm all for animal products, eating animal products, but just push for better animal welfare standards. Okay, you don't gotta be on the extreme PETA thing. I really think it's a shame on PETA for having this kind of campaign. It's a real slap in the face, not only to people who wear leather products, but farmers. You know, people who raise farm animals, also people who are involved in, let's say, the tanning industry, the people who make handbags and leather products, like shoe cobblers, for instance, like that, right? They deal with leather, they repair leather as well. And yeah, I just don't agree with this whole idea that if you touch a leather item, like you're barbaric, or if you own a leather item, you're barbaric as well. It's just PETA people who, in my opinion, I hate to say it this way, they're just so hateful. They're just so hateful. You don't get people on your side by being so hateful towards people like that. I understand they thought maybe the grotesque imagery would work, but it just disgusts me. It's not going to make me stop using my leather products or my silk products or my fur product or my wool products or my down feather products. It's going to make me think to myself, damn, there's some real nutcases out there who just they have nothing better to do but make this website and compare it to human leather. Um, yeah, so it's just yeah, no animal product that I'm aware of has things like all these like body parts shown on it. The only thing that I can think of, to be very frank with you, that has maybe like signs of body parts would be alligator. I've seen handbags or I've seen wallets that show like the head of the alligator or the arm of the alligator. You guys can find that online. But I have zero desire for stuff like that. I'm like, oh, it's kind of, I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Like, I think the head and the arms are a little too much. You guys can look it up if you guys really want to. But yeah, it's just PETA got to do something else to get people to be anti-leather. I don't know what campaign they're going to be doing, but I would say they can't win the environmental campaign because this stuff only lasts about 2 to 5 years. All the leather fans will say, wait a second, 2 to 5 years? Hold up, I got a leather bag from 30 years ago that's still kicking. Why should I buy the vegan leather? So what could they do to get people to give up leather? Best thing they could do is just get social media influencers just saying, "Oh, I love vegan leathers," and that's it. You can't get them to stop using leather any other way because people know what leather is. No, no, no. No, I mean, like I've seen like the skinning alligator alive video. It was very gross. And personally for me, I don't like. I know it sounds strange for me to say it, but I actually don't like alligator stuff. I don't like crocodile and alligator stuff. I think it's probably because it's a reptile, and I've also known about snakes getting skinned alive. So because of those two things, and because I don't imagine there's a huge demand for alligator meat and snake meat compared to, let's say, cow, I don't have any desire to buy any new crocodile or snake or reptile stuff. See where I'm getting at? Like something like cow leather, I can just easily give a free pass to it because we got, Americans, we eat burgers, I eat steak, beef stew, that kind of stuff. I just really see it as a byproduct. But something like alligator, I can't help but think that we have more alligator meat floating around, or I don't know what they do with the snake meat. I'd like to think that a lot of the snake meat is just getting thrown away unless they find a way to put it inside some kind of like animal farms or animal pet food kind of stuff. They do that with mink farms. Mink farms, from what I've been reading, they're extremely quite sustainable. They try to, like, the mink meat can be used for mink oil, and then the meat is used for pet foods or for zoo animals, and then they can also use it for organic compost, all that stuff. But snake skin and crocodile, I can't imagine too much people eating that stuff. So that's why you guys see me like talk about things in a certain way. Rabbit fur, people eat rabbit meat. They do sell rabbit, like whole rabbits, to cook with. So I think like French cooking, if I remember correctly, they use rabbit meat. But I'm not a I don't think I've ever tried rabbit meat, but I wouldn't be against rabbit meat at all. I have a rabbit fur hat, as you guys know. It's probably about 20, 30 years old. It was my grandparents' place, and it looks like it's in pretty good condition. So I just got to take care of that kind of stuff. But yeah, all that stuff. Say like when I have these leather and fur products, you can see I spend the time maintaining this stuff. I spend the time researching this stuff. I spend the time repairing this stuff, and that is something that you will not have the same thing you can do with a vegan leather. The vegan leather will just start deteriorating, and it's not eco-friendly because it's plastic based, a lot of them. And what can I say? So I hope more people buy genuine leather. I hope more people buy vintage items. And if you guys do decide to buy fur or leather, if you can, I would say buy it. Know where the animal's coming from. I don't like buying any leather or any furs from China. I think that the welfare standards there is atrocious. That's just from what I pick up, so that's why you will never ever see me buy something on like Alibaba or Wish.com for any fur or leather items from China. Okay, see ya.